This is our time of the month to work the front desk.
It's your time of the month?
Yeah.
Dang.
Whatever happened?
Something to water or anything?
No, we're good, man.
What's that?
I'm trying to quit.
Quit water.
Sir, do you know what the Fourth Amendment is to the Constitution?
Yes.
Can you tell me what it is?
No, I really have.
See, you swore an oath when you became a police officer, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
You swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. So you should know what's in the Constitution. So what's in the Fourth Amendment? Do you know, or you want me to tell you?
You go ahead and tell me.
All right, I'll go ahead. The Fourth Amendment says we all have the right to be secure in our personal belongings and our effects and our identity. That means when you guys walk up to me and ask me for my ID, I have the right to say, "F you, you're not getting my ID." That's the Fourth Amendment. Unless I committed a crime, and then I have to give it to you. That's it. That's Texas Penal Code 38.02. Because you know you're wrong. You know you're maliciously prosecuting. Just because you don't like me and you don't like what I do, you're maliciously prosecuting me.
They're trying to hide. I'm talking about the law, sir. 38.15 Texas.
I know what that law says.
It says free speech is not interference.
You're correct.
So in your investigation, why was this man arrested?
What, are you talking about Mr. Harvey here?
Yeah, why was Harvey arrested?
I have no idea. I wasn't there.
He was arrested for filming.
You used 5 elements to the First Amendment. Can you name them to me? You swore an oath to uphold it.
I swore an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Texas.
You swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, man. Mm-hmm. There's 5 elements to the First Amendment. Can you name them?
No, not
it's
all
the
of them.
first. I'm a master brick mason for a living.
Okay.
If I have a customer call me and ask me a question about their brickwork or something that they want done, it's my profession. It's part of my job to answer their questions and keep them properly informed. Okay. Well, how come when I come in here and ask you, what can I do to not get arrested again? What did I do wrong? You, as a law enforcement officer, have absolutely nothing to say. I'm trying to be a law-abiding citizen. I'm asking you, what did I do wrong in that video that I'm doing the same thing then that I am now? What's going on, everybody? This video is from Thursday, June the 2nd, 2022. I finally got a little bit of time off from work during business hours, so I decided to go down to the Fort Worth Police Department, Central Division, and ask Detective Cantu or Sergeant Brashear, whichever one I could find, some tough questions and what's going on with my camera that they've been holding for 4 months. Now, I've been here before over this camera, but I've never got Cantu or Sergeant Brashear's coward ass to come downstairs and talk to me. You guys make sure you watch it to the end because Brashear actually comes down and things get heated. Y'all enjoy it later. How y'all doing?
All right.
Is Sergeant Brashear, what's so funny? I saw you laughing and then you looked at him and laughed.
Oh,
Did we walk in the middle of a joke?
no.
Oh, okay. First Amendment's not a joke, buddy.
Okay.
We need to see Sergeant Brashear.
Do you know his badge number by chance?
Not right offhand. It's Brashear, Brashear. It's the Detective Cantu supervisor. We've got some questions for him.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that name again?
Brashear, Brashear. He works up there, man. He's a detective.
Detective or sergeant?
Huh? A sergeant.
Do you know the spelling of his name?
He's Detective Cantu's supervisor.
Am I spelling it wrong? What is it?
You're still having a problem with the spelling?
Yes, sir.
I spelled it 3 times for you.
I'm sorry, man.
Here, give me a piece of paper. I'll write it down.
All right.
Are you nervous, sir?
No.
You look like you're shaking a little bit. Do we need to get medical here for you?
No, I'm not.
All right.
I'm filling in, so I'm not used
What's your name and badge number?
to Officer Little 3183.
All right, thanks, man.
Who are you filling in for?
Sir?
Who are you filling in for?
This is our time of the month to work the front desk.
It's your time of the month?
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, can I ask who's calling for him?
The Fourth Amendment. But I like to report some suspicious activity.
Okay.
It's very suspicious to me that a guy I know named Manuel Mata, he was arrested twice for interference with public duties, and it was very aggravating circumstances, way worse than what I did, okay? and they arrested him. They put him in jail. They took his phones away from him, put him in the property room as evidence. Both times he came down here immediately after getting out of jail, spoke to Detective Brashear and Detective Cantu. They immediately got a piece of paper and released his phones to him immediately. I got arrested one time for standing on a public sidewalk. They took my camera from me 4 months ago. These people refuse to come down here and talk to me. They hang up on me when I call. They don't return my calls, and they won't release my property to me. They already served a search warrant on my camera. They got every file and every video out of my camera. Why won't they release my camera to me? Are you writing this down?
We need to get the camera right now.
I'm tired of this.
That's at the property room. I have no power over that.
We need to get somebody out here to get that camera for him right now.
We just left the property room, man.
Have either the sergeant or Cantu call you. That's what we have to do this time.
We just left the property room. They won't give me my stuff until Cantu signs off on it. Like Manuel Mata came down here twice. She signed off on it immediately. Why won't she sign off on my camera?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have the service number for the report that was done?
I have all that stuff at home. I mean, she knows who I am.
The main thing is getting the phone back, and why they won't give us his phone.
Can you go up there and tell them what I said and then come back? We don't have to pretend. We don't have to play this game that they're not answering. I know both of them's offices right up there. Will you go up there and relay the message and then let me know what they said? We'll wait right here.
Yeah, we're not playing games, man. We're serious. Can we speak to your supervisor?
Oh, yeah.
Can we speak to the supervisor? I don't think our messages are going to the right people. Well, they probably are, honestly, but they don't respect our right to get our camera back.
That's ridiculous, man.
Okay, let me see if I can get the supervisor.
It's been going on for months, man.
He's not my supervisor, but he is the sergeant.
Okay.
Can we just get the head man in charge over the whole building?
Okay.
Yeah, let's skip your supervisor. Let's get the HMIC, head man in charge.
All right. Let me see if I can get.
Your probably best bet would be to go upstairs. They'll probably be up there.
Well, no, my supervisor sergeants are over here. Those are detectives up there.
I mean, look, man, honestly, man, I'm tired of coming down here, man. This is like the 5th time I've came down here over this same thing. I'm not getting anywhere over the phone. I'm not getting anywhere filing complaints. I just want to know how come one person can get their camera back immediately, twice, for the same thing that they're holding my camera now, going on 4 or 5 months.
And then they don't want to answer nobody. Like, what's the problem with giving the camera back?
They've already got all the video footage out of it. They served a warrant on it. They got all the footage out of it. Now they're still holding on to it. Well,
I have no idea
do they have a fetish or something with my camera?
what they do.
I mean, I just want these questions asked, man. And I know you're caught in the middle right now, and it has nothing to do with you, but you're the messenger. Right now, you're the messenger.
All right, can you get the supervisor for us before
You signed up for this, man. I'm sorry that we're putting you through this, but you signed up for
I
it.
got 2 more years to go.
All right, buddy. Well, the main reason we're here is we're tired of Detective Cantu and Sergeant Brashear being cowards. They've been avoiding me for 4 months, and they refuse to give me my property back. I just want my property back, and I don't understand why I'm being discriminated against. Other people have gotten their property back immediately. Why am I not getting mine back?
So you want to talk to a supervisor?
Yes. Yes.
Did you call for one or no? You want me to?
Yeah.
You did? All right.
Because Detective Sergeant Brashear refuses. I know he's up there. This is the 4th or 5th time I came down here, and he never comes down here and talks to me. Manuel Mata came down here 3 times, and immediately Sergeant Brashear came down to him, signed a piece of paper. Here's your property back. I don't understand what the difference between me and him is.
You know, is that like you saw him go up there, or?
There's video of it on YouTube. We all watch the videos. And look, on Manuel's videos, both times Manuel came down here and got his property back, they came right down. Came out of that door right there. Oh, yeah, sure, we don't even need your camera because they said, we don't even need your camera because the cops had the body cameras on, so we don't need yours. Here, I'll sign that piece of paper.
No.
He went and got his property back immediately. Twice. It's going on 4 months. They won't sign that piece of paper for me.
Can you send me his number?
That's why I'm irritated. Anybody would be irritated if they have it's a $400 camera. It's not no cheap cell phone. It was a $400 Sony camera.
Sometimes when you get it back, it's vandalized.
Yeah.
They'll take your shit and the lens will be crushed. Or
It had a
cell phone will be
SD.
broken.
It had an SD card on it full of videos. They asked me for my permission for them to search it. I said, no, I'm not giving you permission. So then they went to a judge and got a search warrant. I didn't even commit a crime. They went to a judge, got a search warrant. They got all the data out of it months ago. They still won't give me back my camera. Why? Why are they holding it? It's just stuff like this why people are starting to realize that the police are the real criminals, you know? I mean,
I don't even think they fly an American flag in here, do they?
if I steal a camera, it's a crime. If you guys steal a camera, it's the law. I mean, people are getting hip to the game, man. People are starting to see through this bullshit. Sir, do you know what the Fourth Amendment is to the Constitution?
Yes.
Can you tell me what it is?
No, I really have.
See, you swore an oath when you became a police officer, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
You swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. So you should know what's in the Constitution. So what's in the Fourth Amendment? Do you know, or you want me to tell you?
You go ahead and tell me.
All right, I'll go ahead. The Fourth Amendment says we all have the right to be secure in our personal belongings and our effects and our identity. That means when you guys walk up to me and ask me for my ID, I have the right to say, fuck you, you're not getting my ID. That's the Fourth Amendment. Unless I committed a crime, and then I have to give it to you. That's Texas Penal Code 38.02. So you guys, when you took my camera and are
I
not,
didn't take nothing.
you didn't, they did up there. They violated my Fourth Amendment right, and they think it's a joke, man. It's not a joke.
Don't need a water or anything?
No, we're good, man.
What's that?
I'm trying to quit.
Quit water.
I don't accept.
That sounds like a joke, but hopefully you're not joking, because water is really good for you.
I'm talking to somebody there?
I don't take things from strangers.
I just don't understand why it's so difficult to give the man his camera back. Like,
What's really
the
confusing.
lawyer even says they should give it back.
Yeah. You know, if I wouldn't have seen how easily Manuel got his camera back twice, I might in the back of my mind be thinking, well, it's a process. This is the way things go. But that really screws my head up, man, when they give him his stuff back immediately. What they said was, well, the officers have the body camera footage of this. We don't need your camera.
I think
The
what they're
same
doing is
ex-
they're holding that camera to keep away evidence to show your innocence.
Well,
They're
enough.
trying to suppress evidence illegal. Really, it's prosecutorial misconduct by keeping it.
Another reason why they're probably holding that camera is I have a full SD card of me filming police doing all kinds of stuff that's never seen the light of day, and they're probably trying to keep that too.
Yeah.
You know? Because when we film you guys and you don't even know your jobs, it's pretty embarrassing. We know your guys' jobs better than you. You didn't even know what the Fourth Amendment was.
We're hiring.
Oh, I did. I
Huh?
didn't get
We're
processed,
hiring.
man.
What?
I said we're hiring. FortWorthPD.com.
Yeah, but here's
Go on
the
there, click,
here's the problem though, man.
you know
No, let me explain what. See, good cops have to leave all the time because the bad cops force them out. Now, when you guys are hired to be police officers, you swear an oath to uphold the Constitution. You're immediately trained to violate our rights. They don't teach you guys what our rights are, do they? You have no idea what our rights are.
I have an idea what your rights are, yes.
Well, you don't have a whole lot of idea. Why you ask everybody for ID all the time then? You're violating
Never
people's
talked to
rights.
you, sir.
Police in general, they always ask, that's the first thing they ask. If somebody walks up to you and says, hello, how you doing? The first thing you guys say is, let me see your ID. I like to know who I'm speaking with. You're asking them to give up their Fourth Amendment right. That's the way they train you guys.
Your right is to say, no, thank you.
Yeah, but that's the way they train you guys. They train you guys to violate our rights. They train you guys to violate your oath. That's the problem. Hello, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'd be doing better if I could get my property back.
What property are we talking about?
It's a Sony. It's pretty sad that immediately the first words that come out of Sergeant Brashear's mouth is a lie that he will contradict himself in very shortly. Now, the reason why I say it's a lie is because this guy already knows everything about me. He knows who I am. He knows all about the camera that I'm wanting. I mean, he knows everything, and he'll even admit it in a minute. And when he walks to the door, the first thing he says is, what property are you talking about? That proves right there this guy is a liar and he's full of crap. And you can't trust anything him or any other police officer says because the Supreme Court has ruled that they are allowed to lie to us. And as a matter of fact, they use it as an investigative tool all the time. Handycam,
Okay.
Detective Cantu has been holding it for like 4 months. Since February, they've had it.
Yes, sir. Since your arrest, right, that day?
Yeah, I got arrested for interference of public duties. And
Yes,
the
sir.
only thing I did was stand there and film 2 police officers harassing a homeless man.
Okay.
And I got attacked and arrested. And here's the issue I have with what's going on is I'm sure you guys know who Manuel Mata is. He's been arrested twice for interference with public duties. And his circumstances were way more aggravating than mine, in my opinion.
Okay.
And immediately, both times he got out of jail, he came down here, and Brashear and Cantu both came down here and immediately signed that piece of paper and gave him his camera back. They have not done that for me. It's been 4 months.
Well, I can tell you, I'm Sergeant Brashear, and I didn't sign.
Oh,
any
you're
papers.
Brashear.
That is correct, sir.
Okay.
I didn't sign any papers.
Well, I've seen you in his videos, and you gave him your exact words were, our officers have the body camera footage. We don't need your camera.
Well, here's what I would tell
Can you
about
please,
that.
all I want is my
Hold on.
property.
We
Just
can
please
only-
release my
I can't
property
give
to
you your
me.
property back.
Why not?
Because you've been arrested, your case has been filed, okay? We have to hold that as evidence until your case is disposed of with the Tarrant County DA's
You
office.
guys have already served a search warrant on it and got every bit of
That doesn't
information
matter.
out of it.
That doesn't matter, sir. We have to hold it because it's still evidence in the case.
Well,
Now,
how
once your
come-
case is done downtown and it's completely finished and they decide that they don't need it anymore, at that point it can be released.
Well, how do they not need it anymore? They already got all the footage out of it. How do they
Well,
not need
because
it
it's still
anymore?
evidence, okay? In the event that, let's just say this, in the event that you decide to go to trial instead of taking any circumstance that your defense attorney and the prosecution's office talks about,
Yeah.
when that goes to trial, Detective Cantu, as the detective in that who wrote that warrant, would have to go get your camera, bring it to court and say, I wrote a warrant for this evidence right here.
Okay, but
And
you're not
then it would have
answering
to
my
be shown
question.
to the jury.
Why did you guys release Manuel's camera back to him? Not once, but twice within 48 hours of him getting
Because in
arrested.
both circumstances,
And his
that-
cases are still pending too. You're not letting me finish. His cases haven't been resolved either, and he got his cameras back the day after he got arrested.
Because in each one of those circumstances, the detective said they weren't writing a warrant for the phone. And since they weren't writing a warrant for the phone, we released it. Period.
So what's the difference between me and him?
Because your case in your case, they wrote a warrant and got evidence off of your phone, off the handy cam. And because of that, now we have to hold it. Because let's say in the event that the courts decide, hey, this video's not working, or hey, something's wrong or something. I mean, there could be a million circumstances that occur. We still have to have that evidence in the event that we have to go back and pull video from it again.
Why do you guys need my phone when your officers have body cameras and dash cameras? You guys had cameras everywhere. Why do you take my phone?
Because the officer seized your camera as evidence in the case. So once that happens, then we have to make a determination on what we're going to do with that.
I'm still confused as what the difference was between me and Manuel. It's the same exact circumstances, but he didn't get the warrant served and I did. Why?
I
don't know.
can't explain that. I
And
don't
it's
know
the
why.
same detective, Cantu. It's the same detective.
I
Why?
can't explain that, sir.
Well, if you can't explain it, who can? You're her supervisor.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, when we asked her that day about that phone, she said she wasn't going to write a warrant for it.
Do you ever check your messages on your voicemail?
Yes, sir, I do.
I've left you like 10 voicemails.
No, sir, you have
You've
not.
never returned any of my calls.
No, sir, you've left me two. One was when you called me to ask me to
Okay.
call you back.
Two.
The second one was when you threatened to complain on me, and at that point, I wasn't going to return your phone call.
You're lying because this guy earlier said you wasn't even here.
Exactly.
Now you showed
I'm
up.
sorry?
This guy right here said you wasn't here. Now you showed up
When?
I didn't say
when we
you
walked
No.
in.
I was here the whole time. I haven't left today. I was upstairs when you guys came in. I just
So you
wasn't
wasn't
at
even
my desk.
answering your phone then, man. We just
I wasn't
called
at my
in.
desk. How can I answer my phone if I'm not at my desk?
So why would we believe you whenever this guy says you're not here and you're not answering the phone?
You're not
And you
under
just
any-
said you haven't left your desk.
No, I said I hadn't answered my phone. Okay, I've been here.
So you're
Just
getting
because-
calls and you're not answering the calls. That's probably what he's
No.
talking about then.
I don't answer my phone every day because I'm not sitting at my desk every day, all hours of the day.
You just said you were sitting at your desk.
No,
man.
sir. I said I was here, not sitting at my desk. Okay? I have more than one job as a supervisor. I sit at my desk, I review reports. I also get up and walk around the office and answer questions that detectives may ask. I'm not always sitting at my
The
desk.
question you need to be asking is what's public interference with public duties because you guys don't know that law.
Oh, yes, sir, I do.
The question
Well, then
you
you
really
know
need to be
free speech and
asking
interference then.
is
That's
why are
not
you
law,
guys
right?
maliciously prosecuting somebody for practicing the First Amendment? That's all I did.
Well, actually, sir, there's a big difference in there, and that's not a debate that I'm going to have with you today, because
Yeah.
if you want to argue the circumstances of your case and whether or not you believe you're guilty or not, that's an argument for the court.
The
How-
argument is that you guys don't know the law.
What did I do
You're
wrong?
enforcing
What did I do wrong?
it.
Well, I'm not here to answer that, sir, because I haven't watched, I don't know the circumstances.
You guys are
fully of your
maliciously
case.
prosecuting me.
No, sir.
Yeah, you-
That's
yeah,
not
you
what
are.
I'm
Malicious
doing,
arrest.
okay?
went
You guys
outside
are the
law
real
and
criminals.
arrest.
Well, that's something you can handle with the court, sir. That's not something that I'm going to debate with you here.
It's not a debate.
So
It's
you're the sergeant. You
Constitution.
don't want to debate if it's a malicious arrest or not.
No, sir, because that's not my job. That's the court's job.
So the courts are the ones training the officers, or you're not
No,
supervising
sir.
the officers?
When we make the arrest and it goes to the courts, then it's up to the courts and the judge and a jury, if it goes that far, to decide whether or not you're guilty, not me. We bring charges before the court. It's the court that decides everything else.
So you guys
That's not
can't
my
sign
job.
that piece of paper and release my camera
No,
back
sir,
to me.
because a warrant's been issued for your camcorder.
It's already been served. You guys already got
Correct,
everything
sir.
out of
We're
it.
not going to release that until your court case is disposed of. Okay? And even after it's disposed of, the law requires you to go through the court to get us to release evidence back to you.
They already offered to dismiss the charges if I did 1 hour of community service. That's how much of a
Okay.
joke your case is. And my lawyer said, no, we're not taking that.
Well, that's up to you and your lawyer in the court, so
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
you'll
What
be
does have something to do with you is you guys acting outside the law to make arrest.
maliciously prosecuting me
Okay, well,
for
listen,
doing
you guys-
nothing
you guys
wrong.
are entitled to your
What did I do
opinions
wrong?
on
It's
that.
not my opinion, it's the law, man.
Okay,
Look it
well,
up.
you're entitled to your opinion.
38.15.
Yes, sir, and I'm very aware of that.
Subsection
Okay?
D,
I'm also aware of
interference.
all the case law that comes along with that. It's something that I study on a regular basis.
I'm
Okay,
doing
well,
this.
tell us what your
Okay.
studies is then, man.
I don't have to tell you what my studies are. And
So
I'm
you
not going to
ain't
do
even
that.
really studying them, man,
No,
because you don't
sir.
even know what the law
Because right
is.
now you're not asking me questions. Right now you're wanting to be confrontational about it.
You
If
said
you
you
ask
did
me a
studies.
question, I'll answer a
I
question.
did. I said, what are your studies? And you said, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I already
Well,
know what
you're being
38.15
very broad in your question. If you want to ask me something specific that
So
I
I'm
can
talking
answer,
about the
then I
law,
will.
sir. 38.15 Texas.
I know what that law says.
It
Okay?
says free speech is not interference.
You're correct.
So in your investigation, why was this man arrested?
What, are you talking about Mr. Harvey here?
Yeah, why was Harvey arrested?
I have no idea. I wasn't there.
He was
All I can
arrested,
do
he
is
was
guess.
arrested for filming.
You guys are the ones that signed the warrant for my camera, so y'all must have seen a
No, sir, a
crime.
judge signed your warrant for the camera, not me.
The judge didn't ask for the warrant. You guys you guys put out the warrant. The judge signed the okay.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys asked for the warrant.
Yes, sir.
Why? Where was the crime? You watched the video.
Interference with the public service.
How? Standing on the sidewalk filming?
Again, you're wanting me to debate your specific case.
Because
and
you
I'm not
know
gonna do
you're
that.
wrong. You know you're maliciously
Well, sir,
prosecuting.
if that is
Just
the
because
case-
you don't like me and you don't like what I do, you're
don't know
maliciously prosecuting me.
They're
This is
trying
the,
to
this
hide
is
the
the
fact.
first,
You know what
this
I
is the
do.
first time I've ever met you.
I never introduced myself. You already knew who I was.
Of course
You just
I
said
do. I know
Mr.
you.
Harvey.
I know Mr. Mata. I know Miss
All
Caroline.
right. I'm still trying to figure out how
Okay.
come Manuel got his camera back 2 times
I told you the
immediately.
answer to that.
It doesn't make any sense to
Detective
me.
Cantu stated that she wasn't going to write a warrant for the phone. So at that point, we have no other reason to hold the phone.
There's no difference between what he did and what I did. Why was there no warrant written for his phone, but there was for my camera?
Because she has that discretion to decide what she wants to do. Okay?
How-
She decided not to write the warrant. So because of that.
What, she woke up on the wrong side of the bed one day? Is that what you're saying?
No, sir.
That's the only
No,
thing that
sir.
makes sense.
Individual cases determine circumstances on whether or not we get warrants. Okay, period. There's no, oh, we're going to write a warrant for this guy and not write a warrant for this guy. It doesn't work that way.
So
we don't work that way.
So you think it's fair that I should be without my property for the last 4 months?
Being that she wrote a warrant for it and it's evidence in the case, it's absolutely fair because what we're doing with you is no different than what we would do with anybody else with evidence in the case.
That's what people get when
So
they,
if there's evidence showing the person's innocent, you guys don't want to turn that over. You guys want to suppress that, basically.
that's what happens
I'm
when you
not
film
sure I
the
understand
police.
That's what's happening. I said there's video on that camera that you guys violated the law to make the arrest. You guys are trying to suppress that.
Everything that was on that camera has come off that camera and has been provided to the district attorney's office.
So why not give the camera back?
Because it's still evidence in a case, sir, and we're required to keep that until the case is disposed of.
The camera isn't evidence, the footage
Yes,
on
sir.
it.
The camera itself is evidence because your footage, even though we've downloaded it and made copies of it, all your footage from that was on your camera is still on your camera.
Yeah, but you're Detective Cantu's supervisor, so ultimately it was your decision to ask for the warrant.
No,
So
sir,
what?
she was applying for the warrant. She brings it to me and I read it to make sure that it
Exactly.
has probable cause in it. If it has probable cause.
What was the
then
probable cause? What am I doing differently then than I was now?
Again, you're asking me to.
I'm trying to be a law-abiding citizen. I'm asking you, what did I do wrong in that video that I'm doing the same thing then that I am now? What is the
I can't answer
difference?
that question because you're asking me to debate whether or not you've committed a
No,
crime.
I'm just
and
asking
not
you,
going
how
to
do I not get arrested again? What did I do wrong?
I'm not going to go down that road.
Wow.
You're trying to justify
You're-
your
probable
circumstances.
cause.
You are
I don't
worthless,
have to answer
man.
that. If you want a copy of that warrant,
That's
you're welcome to
ridiculous.
ask for
There was no problem.
We're literally asking you how we can follow the laws better. You're a law enforcement officer. You don't even know what your own job
You're
is.
not asking me that. You're comparing this
Man, you're
situation
completely
to your
worthless,
arrest.
man. You're dismissed. Get out of my face, man.
You ain't nothing more than a liar.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know the law. You said you've been studying case law.
You should have just stayed up there and
Well,
hid in
Ask
your
you
guys
what
office.
the case law is. You don't even know.
You're trying to
You don't
compare
even know what
this
the probable cause
situation.
is.
You're trying to compare this situation
Oh,
to
there's
his
this
arrest,
tyrant
and that's
again.
not what I'm going to do.
go on.
You haven't asked me a single question yet, specifics about interference or what causes interference or what doesn't cause interference. Y'all haven't done that. You've asked me to
Filming a
compare
stop
this
is not
situation.
interference.
No, sir, it's not. However, if
Then
you
why
want-
was he arrested? What was the probable cause?
I'm not going to debate his case here. That's not what I'm here to do.
You guys
If
made the
if
arrest and you
feel
don't want to
like-
see what your probable cause
No,
is,
sir.
man. That's
don't-
why I think you're a liar.
I am
man.
not obligated to do that. Under no circumstance am I obligated to do that.
Look, man.
Right now, this is in the courts. It is up to his defense attorney and the prosecution on what happens with this case. If he wants to debate probable cause, he is welcome to ask his attorney to file a suppression hearing to get evidence suppressed in this case. If he thinks the police lack probable cause for the warrant, his attorney has every right to file a suppression hearing or file a hearing with the court to say, I don't believe probable cause existed in this warrant. He has all those rights within the system to do that.
They don't have a grand jury for misdemeanors, man. They just
sir,
automatically
they
file a
don't.
probable cause warrant, sign off on it. I just want to know what your probable cause was for the
I don't have
arrest.
to see. I'm not going to provide.
He's not
that
going to
you
answer
because
that.
that's not
Look,
what
let me
we're
give
gonna
you let me give you a similar situation. Like I'm a master brick mason for a living. If
Okay.
I have a customer call me and ask me a question about their brickwork or something that they want done, it's my profession. It's part of my job to answer their questions and keep them properly informed. Okay. Well, how come when I come in here and ask you, what can I do to not get arrested again? What did I do wrong? You, as a law enforcement officer, have absolutely nothing to say.
Well, that's not what you've asked me this whole time.
Man.
You've asked me, is what you're doing now any different than what you did on the day of your arrest?
Okay.
You're trying to compare this circumstance here to the day that you were arrested. That's why I'm not doing that. Now, if you want to ask generally, what can I do not to get arrested? I will gladly provide you an
Okay,
answer
what
for
can
that.
I do?
Easy. Obey what the officer says. Stand back. When he gives you a lawful order to move, do so.
So if an officer tells me to jump off a bridge, I should go jump off a bridge?
Actually, that's a little extreme. I think.
Nah,
I think
you
you're pushing
just-
that out of
okay,
the way.
well-
So you say
Because a
you said-
reasonable person wouldn't go jump off a bridge if a police officer said.
I happen to know the law better than all you police officers, so
Okay,
I
well,
don't
if
have to
that's the
listen.
case, then please do. Okay, if you think you know that better, then I hope you prove that when you go to court.
How come I filmed police officers over 150 times and never been arrested? But that one time I did nothing, absolutely nothing different, but I got attacked and arrested.
Well,
And you guys are
I'm not-
maliciously
I'm not
prosecuting
gonna, I'm
me.
not going to debate the
And
circumstances of your case.
because you don't
okay?
have a debate, that's why.
not what I'm here to
You
do.
don't have a debate. Let me ask you
Okay.
this: do you hate the First Amendment?
Well, of course not. Why would I?
Do you even know what it is?
Absolutely.
There's 5 elements to the First Amendment. Can you name them to me? You swore an oath to uphold it.
I swore an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Texas.
Yeah, you swore an oath
Okay?
to uphold the Constitution, man. There's 5 elements to the First Amendment. Can you name them?
No, not
It's
all
the
of them.
first law ever written. You can't name them.
Well, you have a right to practice free speech. You have a right to
That's
practice
one.
religion.
That's 2.
Okay. Now, what are the other ones? Because you're telling me there's 5.
There's
You can stand
freedom of
close
the
enough.
press, right to petition, and right to assembly.
Right. All that has to do with free speech. All that falls
No, it
within that.
doesn't.
And you can stand close enough to where you can hear what's going on.
Sir, are you creating a public
No,
record
sir.
over
If-
here?
If an officer tells you to stand back
Right here,
because
sir.
they're conducting your criminal investigation, and
Are you
refuse to
creating a
do
public
so,
record with your personal cell
Yeah,
phone?
that's
No, I'm
No, sir.
texting
No, sir.
somebody else.
You need to
You're
go
allowed to.
research.
You know, I
you
could
need to go
FOIA
research
request
your
everything
case
you got
law,
on your
because
phone
that
if you
is
take a
supported
picture
under
of it.
case law
Request
that's
all you
ruled
want
on
to,
by the
sir.
Fifth Circuit of the United States Federal
Have you
Court
learned
System.
anything between
If
our
an officer
interactions?
gives you a
Have you
lawful
seen all the
order,
videos
that
of you
order
all
is
over the
determined to be
internet?
lawful, and
They're
you're
literally
supposed to
everywhere.
disobey. You can be arrested for interference.
Awesome.
There's like
Has
30
nothing
different
to do with
channels
you
that have made
walking up and trying
videos
to get
out of
in the middle
you.
and all that.
Awesome.
Okay, if you walk up and get too close to a police investigation and the officer says, please stand back, and you say, no, I don't have to, that is interference.
No, you're wrong again. I can stand
Yeah,
close
you
enough
don't
to where I
even
can
know.
hear.
If an officer tells you to stand back, you have to stand back if he's giving you a lawful order based on the criminal investigation that he has completed.
A lawful order means there's a law that backs up the order. If he
Yes,
says
it-
stand back, what law is
Well,
that?
I recommend you guys go research case law that was ruled on by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, okay?
Yeah, we
Because
know.
they upheld
We know
in
what it is.
Texas
It's Turner versus Driver.
Act-
So basically, what you're saying is, if a cop tells you to jump off a bridge, you should obey him.
No, sir, that's not what I said.
Okay, well
I
then,
said if an officer gives a lawful order,
how do you know if it's a lawful order?
that is determined on a case-by-case basis.
Oh,
Okay? I'm telling you that's what it is.
No, we're talking about law. You're talking about
Yes, sir.
officer feelings.
No, sir, I'm not talking about officer.
Yeah, you are.
Well, that
I'm talking
officer
about
caught
the
was
fact-
harassing that
Case
homeless
by
guy.
case.
What I'm talking about is a situation where if an officer's conducting an investigation and you come up around,
I came here to get my camera back. Are you
Well,
going to
you're
release
not
my
getting your
camera?
camera.
Why?
I told you that it's evidence in a case, and you're not going to get it back until your case is disposed
Bullshit
of.
case for filming.
Okay, well that's fine, man. You're entitled to your
filming
opinion.
retiring officers.
On that. Okay, if there's nothing else I can do to get your camera back, man.
You're free to go. We're not detaining you.
Well, obviously.
You're dismissed.
Okay. You have any other questions or concerns?
You hadn't even answered one of them. Why would we ask another
I
one?
have. I have.
No, get out of here,
You need
man,
to learn
please.
what
I'm
reason-
ready
Okay, well,
to
you
go.
guys have a nice day, okay?
Yeah, kiss
Study
my
law
ass.
some more.
All right, that wraps it up. Hey, thanks, man. Sorry to put you in the middle of that.
Good luck to you guys.
Y'all have a good one. Later, tyrant. There's the #1 tyrant right there. Proven tyrant right there. You guys don't end up like him. Please.
Have a nice day.
All right,
You
man.
mean bald?
Huh?
I said, don't end up like him. I said, you mean bald?
Ha ha ha, he called you bald. That's hilarious.